Hi, I'm Dr. Demaris, and I'm excited to share with you a revolutionary approach to healthcare.
He has literally changed my life. He's affected my whole family. And so my mom took me, and in one appointment, I was better, and I haven't had a migraine or headache since.
So it's been just a wonderful experience. It seems unusual. It's easy to be skeptical, but I can testify that it works. And I'll take the blessings of my daughter's health improvement as well as my own without question.
I believe the body knows how to heal itself. It knows all the functions that it needs to perform to be healthy, happy, and to thrive. If there is any disease processes or any symptoms present, it is not because the body forgot how to function. It's because something is impeding its natural ability to heal itself.
I started getting these really freak migraines. They would last for about 8-9 days, and they kept coming and coming, and every day I would have a headache until the migraine came. Like every day of my life I had a headache. I kind of an underlying pain level of a 3 or 4. And it made it so I couldn't think, and I had to drop out of school, and I dropped out of all my activities as in sports and stuff.
If I didn't take my medication for my menstrual cramps, I would be on the floor in pain, and it was not a good thing.
I had fallen off of a counter as a small child and had hit my head pretty hard and lost hearing in my right ear.
In December of 2012, our 18-year-old son, who was 17 at the time, was in a major accident in the weight room at the high school. He was going down to do a squat with 300 pounds, big tough kid on the football team, and his knee gave out and the weights hit the back of his head. There was a lump the size of a tennis ball on the back of his head. It was pretty severe.
Suffered from migraines my whole life, ever since I was a small child. And in my mid-20s, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
I was experiencing this really bad pain in my back. It was really bad. I had to be down for a few days. And then it started to spread down my leg. And that was scary. And then that wasn't bad enough. My foot went numb.
But during this time, I actually developed clusters. And clusters are the type of headache that they're often referred to as a suicide headache. The reason for that is they're the most painful thing that I have ever experienced in my life. And I've given birth 4 times. I even had a set of twins. And this pain was beyond any of that. It was as you're having one, your nose might start to run, your eyes will run. First time I had one, I actually thought it was brain fluid leaking because the pain was so incredible. I couldn't imagine what else was causing this.
Now, in our office, we do not just treat symptoms. We get down to the root causes of your problems. Now, there are only 4 real causes or impediments to your body being able to heal itself, which we address in our office. We call this the home run formula. To hit a home run in baseball, you got to get around all 4 bases, and here they are. First, at home base, we have structure. We then have biochemistry. We have toxicity. And first base is emotional stress. We're going to start with structure. Now, I was originally trained as a chiropractic physician. And as a chiropractor, I'm going to evaluate every major nerve of your body. Now, when many people think of chiropractic, they think of somebody cracking bones. Now, that is not just all that we do. We are actually about evaluating the nervous system. The nervous system is the body's communication highway. All of the information that your body processes has to go through the nervous system. It starts with your brain, and it comes down the spinal column, and from in between each of the vertebrae leaves all of the nerves. And now these nerves go to every single organ, muscle, tissue, and every single cell.
I went to a doctor, and he said, you have a disc that is slipped and pushing against the nerve, and that's what's causing the pain in your leg. That's also because it's pushing on that nerve. That's why you're feeling the numbness in your foot. And then he told me that it'll take somewhere between 6 months to a year for the numbness to go away. I was telling a friend about that, and he told me to have to go see Dr. Demaris because maybe he could help me. So I went to go see him, and he could help me. And not only that, but the pain went away in a couple weeks, and then the numbness went away completely in 6 weeks.
I went to see Dr. Demaris, and he adjusted my uterus, he changed my diet and my exercise, and after that I was in church, and my husband was out of town. I was there with all 4 of my kids, and I realized I forgot to take my medication. And I was so scared something was going to happen. I didn't know how I was going to get home or what I was going to do, but I experienced no pain that month or the month after that or any of the months since I've seen Dr. Demaris.
This system is so important that if you were to, let's say, break your neck in an accident, you could be paralyzed or even die because you've impeded this nervous system. Now, there are some less severe impedances in the nervous system, which we call subluxations. In the office, we correct subluxations through adjustments and through low-level light therapy, like this device here. This is a GRT light. It functions at a very specific wavelength. Through research, we found that 635 nanometers of red light induces healing within the nervous system.
As part of his treatment, he offers these kind of informational dinners that I went to, and during that dinner, he asked if anybody had any head trauma. My entire life, I've not touched my ear. I can't hear normally out of my right ear in any way. But during our testing, he noticed some weakness on my right side, attributed to this particular fall. And he did just a minor bit of treatment while we were there, and I plugged my left ear with my hand so that I couldn't hear, and he was snapping his fingers on next to my right ear, and I could actually hear that. That was the first time I've heard anything from that side of my head ever that I can remember anyway. And so that was pretty amazing. Kind of brought tears to my eyes, brought tears to my wife's eyes.
We found that he had 20% brain damage in his brain. We did multiple testings that his memory was at a 9% and a 3% and a 1%. It was pretty devastating. The kid that we knew was no longer with us. We tried everything. We went to neurologists, counselors, psychologists. We even went to a chiropractor that did acupressure. We were at our last hope, and we met Dr. Demaris, and he said, "Let me get my hands on him." We just figured, what the heck? Anything. We'd try anything at this point. And within 3 months of seeing Dr. Demaris, we just had him tested again. His results went from 9% to 40%. He is dating again. He's socializing. He's got a job. He's going to school full time. My son is back.
I think most of you would agree with me that we live in a nutritionally deficient environment. The next base is biochemistry. To address the biochemical imbalances, we assess your nutrition via dietary change and supplements rather than medication. These are the things that your body needs that it may not be getting.
Dr. Demaris taught my family how to eat real food. So my toddler had been suffering from constipation and had lots of trouble since she'd been born. She'd been on Miralax for a year when I took her to see Dr. Demaris. And he helped me realize that the food she was eating was causing the trouble. And so now we make her a green smoothie with kale and spinach and carrots and lots of good things in it. And she doesn't need medication anymore. And I love it that I'm feeding my child real food and her body works great.
Many things have changed over the last few decades because of the way that we eat, the way that we process food, the way that it's grown, and we've even genetically modified a lot of our foods.
For my assessment, he told me that I needed to stay away from gluten and stay away from eggs and caffeine.
Because of this, many of us are not getting the building blocks that we need. So in our office, we're going to evaluate your diet and see if any supplements are necessary.
I can tell I have more energy because I actually do my dishes every day. It's something small, but there's that desire, and I feel like exercising. I feel like just naturally doing those things and it's amazing that I don't have to take another pill or another medication to do that. I'm actually taking something, for me it's gluten, taking that out of my diet, and I'm gaining so much more. I'm gaining so much more energy and better sleep, less anxiety, better health. It just blows my mind.
The next base is second base, which is toxicity. These are the things that are there that shouldn't be there. In our environment, we have thousands of chemicals, heavy metals, pesticides, herbicides. There's almost 3,000 food additives, and it is said that the average American eats his own body weight in these food additives, which is disgusting. These chemicals and toxicities in our environment can weigh down our body's ability to heal itself.
I hurt from head to toe. My skin even hurt to be touched. It was as if I was bruised with a sunburn over top of it. I couldn't hold my children. I couldn't snuggle. All those things were so painful to me.
Toxicity not only includes chemicals, but it also includes underlying hidden food allergies and underlying infections, which are becoming an increasing problem in our society.
He taught me about nutrition in a way that I hadn't quite grasped before. And he helped me just completely change my life to where I can exercise now. I don't have to take a nap every day, which probably sounds crazy, but that's where I was. I actually have narcolepsy. I've been diagnosed with that about 15 years ago. I am taking no medication at all now at this point in my life. No medication for narcolepsy, no pain medication. I don't even have to take allergy medication.
In our office, we will evaluate for these underlying toxicities and correct using homeopathic remedies, herbs, and dietary changes. Okay, see how that changed as well? Very good. So we're going to get you some minerals and some fish oil. Okay. Last base we're going to cover is emotional stress. Now, I want you to know that I'm not a counselor, but I am very interested on the impact that stress can have on your body. Money, jobs, relationships, family can all cause us stress. Now, this stress can not only affect how we feel emotionally, but it can actually affect the physical body. I think we've all had experiences where we were stressed and we lost our appetite, got a headache, couldn't sleep. These are all examples of how a stressor actually affected the physical body. Many people that come to see me have underlying emotional stress that they may or may not be aware of, but it could be actually affecting their physical bodies, not just how they feel emotionally. We use a revolutionary technique called the neuroemotional technique to evaluate for and correct these underlying stressors that are actually making us sick and making us ill and keeping our bodies from its full potential.
He helps with emotional things. So maybe we don't like to talk about emotional things, but we all have emotional things that we deal with, and some of us deal with them better than others. And I was one who didn't deal well with one emotional thing, and I didn't know it. I was some reason when I was 8 years old, I got really worried about money, and ever since then I've had a hard time emotionally with money, and it affected how I interacted with people at work because of the pressure that I felt about money. And after he helped me with that, after he did a simple thing, it didn't take very long, it changed, and now how I feel and interact at work is so much better.
All right, my favorite part about Dr. Demaris is NET because he deals with emotional issues. And most doctors you go to, they don't deal with any emotions. And that's an important part of being healthy. Dr. Demaris taught me that. So Dr. Demaris helped me deal with some of my emotional issues. And he couldn't change what happened to me, but he definitely changed what I thought about it. And that helped me change my life.
And so she called me, and I held a conversation with her in a bike shop using only my right ear, which was just phenomenal.
He's graduating. He's got straight A's. Who would have thought? Just took an AP test. Who would have thought? And his job, he comes home every day and he goes out to work. He drives all over the city of Austin, everywhere, hundreds of miles. Comes home, happy as can be. I never thought I would see the day.
It's been amazing, and I've gone back to life. I've gone back to swimming and to biking and hanging out with my friends and family, and getting ready for college and reading again. I couldn't read very well, and it's been amazing, and I'm very excited.
I think that Dr. Demaris has a gift for healing. It's not just me he's helped, it's my good friends and their families, and then the people that they've referred. And 100% of the people that I have referred to Dr. Demaris have gone to see him, they've been healed, they've been back, and they've referred other people.
We are so pleased and thrilled with the difference he has made for us.
My biggest motivation was I just wanted to work alongside this person who all his energy was just that he wanted to help people. You could tell it was his passion. And when I finally the opportunity came, I was ecstatic, and I thought that it would be great, but I didn't know it would be as great as it was. And I loved it. I went from being okay with work to coming home and telling my husband I love my job because I see miracles every day. I see people who come in with no hope. They've tried everything. They think, you know, their doctors have said this, their doctors have said that. They have had, you know, they're on so many medications. They just feel like, oh, this is just the way life is. You just don't feel well. People come in all the time. Oh, that's just normal, right? Or I'm just getting old. And that's not the case. And I got to see those people be able to make the changes that they needed to, and be able to get the help they needed to have their lives put back in order in a way that they didn't even know was possible anymore. It's been a blessing in my own life to have met and known Dr. Demaris, but it has been an undeniable privilege to be a part of the miracles that he's bringing about in the lives of his patients and of their families. And that I'd keep forever, because that's kind of what life's about, to be able to see that kind of goodness come into the world. And that's what he does, and that's who he is, and that's his life.
Many people come to my office having tried everything that they know how, but have lost all hope. From my experience, I can tell you that the human body can heal itself. I witness this every day. It is the most amazing creation on earth. Our approach is unique and synergistic in its effect, and allows us to treat a variety of different conditions that many would not think a chiropractor can treat. We do this by getting to the root causes of the problems, rather than covering up symptoms with drugs. Our message to you is, there is hope.